Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Our guest today is my good friend Henry Weingarten. Henry is the managing director at the Astrologers Fund. Welcome back to Wall Street Silver, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's always great having you on. This is now your part three in the past week or two, and it's such a great pleasure having you on. We didn't finish the charts quite yet, so I'm going to pull up the charts for everyone now. This one, what are we looking at here, Henry?
This is the important question because people ask, should you never buy or sell silver?
Right.
So just take a look at that chart. We, for example, got out at $30 around 2011 and started shorting it at $49. Now, if you had the view never to sell silver, was that a good investment? Now, looking at that chart, you would have come back in perhaps at 30 and it would have taken you 13 years to get even.
Right here.
So think about that for a moment. Is that a good investment? But I want to clarify it. So let's get to the next slide.
Okay. Should one never sell
Is
silver?
That was the key question. So there's three answers to that. If you're buying silver as a hedge to your portfolio, then there's never a good time to sell.
Ah, that's a great answer. Yeah.
If the next point is if you're buying silver as a long-term investment and treat it like real estate to buy and hold, then you don't need to sell either.
Yeah, yeah. Fantastic answer.
But now this is the key point. If you're trading or investing short to intermediate term, then most definitely there are times it's advisable and profitable to sell. For
Hmm.
example, in 2011, when silver was above 30, or now, not yet, by the way, because we're only around 30, 32. But once we get to 34 to 38, then I believe you should sell stop at least 25 to 30% of your holdings and buy silver stocks, which will give you better investment performance on a risk reward basis.
Now,
So again,
when you say for people who hit 34 or $38, like I guess what number should they have been in at? Like $20
doesn't
silver?
matter where they
Doesn't
are.
that? Oh, okay, okay.
They could be, we came in at 18. Doesn't matter if you came in at 20. We're suggesting that when it gets to 34 to 38,
Take some profit.
take some profit off the table and ideally convert it to silver stocks.
Hmm.
That's my view.
Now,
So
buying and selling gold and silver stocks, trading
stocks,
their position.
right. So basically, are you trading? You always have to know why you're buying something. Are we
Right.
trading, day or positional? Are we investing or are we hedging? And for
Right.
each of those, there are different answers. So we
Right.
believe you should do this in the context of portfolio management.
Right. So we don't recommend buying and selling gold and silver or precious metal stocks per SE. What does that mean?
I'm sorry,
Right here.
per se.
Oh, per se.
Sorry.
I was like, oh, okay, per
Did I
se.
spell it wrong?
No,
I'm
no
sorry.
worries.
I think there should be no explanation. And remember, are you buying and selling for wealth creation or wealth preservation? This applies to everything in your portfolio.
Are you seeking a secure, truly offshore solution to protect your wealth? Whether you're invested in gold, silver, or other precious metals, strategic wealth preservation is the strategic storage choice. Located in the Cayman Islands, SWP offers a state-of-the-art 6,000 square foot facility, purpose-built to safeguard your assets with unparalleled security and privacy. Why choose the Cayman Islands? This premier jurisdiction has zero taxes on stored precious metals, no reporting requirements, and complete peace of mind, making it the ideal solution for investors looking to diversify internationally. At SWP, your metals are fully segregated, allocated, and insured. You can buy online or in person. Plus, SWP has a dedicated logistics team that facilitates the global transportation of your precious metals from almost anywhere in the world. Learn more about SWP and how they can help secure your precious metals offshore. Visit swpcayman.com or call them today, and the link will be in the description below. Thanks.
Because it's a different approach
Because if
when
it's
you're
wealth,
buying.
because if it's wealth preservation, you wouldn't be in selling.
Not necessarily. It depends on what you own and what
Right,
else you own and what your goal is.
right.
It all depends. in general, though, I'd agree with you. If you're hedging it as wealth preservation, you
Right.
probably would not sell it. But if you're doing it for wealth creation, you're probably more likely to.
Right.
Now, remember, everything depends on what you own. If you're a newbie and don't own any gold and silver, then certainly you should own some.
Right.
And I would say the same thing with stocks. Um, but and I also, most important, don't recommend doing everything at once. It's not a once and done situation. Whether you're buying or selling gold, silver, or gold and silver stocks, we believe doing an initial entry and then adding by either adding to winners classically or waiting for a pullback if it happens and then adding them.
Right.
So whatever it is you're doing, we don't just say do it today.
Like you don't
If
want to
you
be
have nothing,
you don't want to be emotional, right? And just do it all.
correct.
Right. Now, the desert island pick. You were talking about
Yeah,
this
well, we're going
in
to get into actually some more, but I just want to point out we had a picture of a desert island. And a desert, if you own no silver stocks, then there's at least one you must buy, in my opinion. Of course, you have to do your own due diligence, et
right.
cetera. And that's Mag Silver, which
Why
is
is
our
that?
desert island pick.
Why is that?
Well, we're going to get that in a second. So if you go to the next slide,
Okay,
we're going to, yeah.
there we go.
These are our 7 top gold and silver stock picks. Okay. And it's our view that quality gold and silver stocks will outperform physical gold and silver. That doesn't mean you shouldn't have both.
Right.
But if you're looking for returns on investment, we believe you should own one or more of these, depending on what your portfolio is.
So it says here,
Okay,
well,
we're going to go over this in detail
yeah.
in my own December 21st annual forecast. So
Okay,
let me
that's
give
nice.
you 7 stock picks and why we like them very briefly, but we can go in detail. The first is Mag Silver. It's a low-cost producer with 3 highly prospective exploration properties. Our targets without any success is $25. We bought it recently again, whereas our internal targets, which we're giving out now with the exploration successes that we're expecting, is 40 plus. That's
Uh-huh.
pretty good for a stock at 15.
Mm-hmm.
Our next pick is Brazilian Silver, which is in near-term production, second half of 2027. Its internal rate of return is 86% based on fair value. Fair value for us is $22 for silver, and it's basically about 22.35 for gold.
Right.
So we're expecting a return in their mine production in 9 months. So that's going to be a big winner, in our opinion.
Okay.
Okay, quickly, 3 gold stocks. A top number 1 stock pick, which is in every large portfolio, is Agnico Eagle, which for the last 20 years has done everything right, unlike most precious metal stocks. I mean, many are doing a good job today, but they've been doing it for over 20 years. If you only had one pick, that would be it. Now, for those of you that are very concerned about mining and feel that it's an issue that you're destroying the earth, then the number 1 pick for you would be DRD Gold. Not only is it ESG, but they get all their gold from surface tailings.
What does
So
that
they're
mean?
cleaning up the environment and making money.
Wow, that's
What's
pretty
better
cool.
than that?
That's pretty
Okay.
cool.
No destruction to the environment, 100% cleaning up the environment and making money.
Wow.
Now, if you want to choose something that's an explorer, a micro cap that can give you 5 to 10 times on your money with a little downside risk, this thing is going for like 4 cents or 5 cents if you're Canadian, then I would take a look at a Gold Terra. It's a 5-cent stock. The person who runs it did $1 billion company before, and there's a good chance he's going to do $1 billion company here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something totally different. You may recall, it's probably before your time when we were in the 1880s during the gold rush. Who made money? It wasn't the miners, most of whom lost
The
money.
bullion dealers?
It was the guys selling the picks and the axes.
Oh, the equipment for the mines.
Right.
Right.
Now that's A-mark precious metals. They're precious metal trading. Doesn't matter if it goes up or down, they make money. It's something to take a look at.
Interesting.
And then we have royalties, and we can do a whole situation on royalties, which sort of make money whether the companies do or not. as long as they're producing. And the one we like is EMX, because not only do they have a royalty portfolio, but they have an exploration portfolio. So it's a long-term hold, not for next week. But if you want to buy something for, say, the next 5 years, we think we've got a good winner here that you can just buy and forget. So here's 7 stocks, not necessarily every one for you, but here's an example of things you could look at that for some of your audience will certainly, some of these picks would be appropriate.
Yeah, thank you for that, Henry. Now,
Okay.
Q4 2022, 2024 big picture.
Since this is part 3 and the final part, we have 2 closings. One is to remind you, number one, there's a global slowdown recession coming. Some of us think we're in it, and certainly coming next year. And if that's the case, what we like is gold. And when I say gold, you can put silver in there as well, of course. Entertainment and cash. And by cash, we mean special situations and distressed investing, because unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of distressed investing.
Right.
The markets, we called it correctly, within 2-3 days on the August time. And we believe post-election, whether it be November or December, the market will be down before 2026 to
Really?
2025, because people will be taking profits. The big boys will be taking profits. Now, whether it's right after the election, whether it's next week, because we'll have an October surprise, although we have an election coming, so we may not go down, but we certainly expect that before 2025, you should be cleaning your overall portfolios.
Right.
Okay, well, that's very critical. If the BRICS do something more than we expect and put a very serious gold buy on it, then everything's gold and silver then is going to jump 20% or more. I don't think so, but I think it will be a positive, because I think they'll be doing less US dollars and some more gold. But we have to wait and see. That's a big situation.
Right.
We have, again, November, and I can assure you that half of your audience, at least, will be unhappy with that election, but I can't tell you which half.
Yeah, that's right.
I do have a belief which way it's going to go, but we'll let that go. So my view is, for those of you that are interested in maximizing your investment potential, not as a hedge, but for investment, as long as gold's over 2,500, in the range of 25 to 2,700, that you should be selling some gold and buying some gold stocks, or once we get to 34 to 38 silver, selling, I spelled that, I think there's an error in there. It should be selling silver. So, both, that's correct. Selling some silver and buying some silver stocks.
Yeah.
Now there is something issue, because I have to change that a little bit. I'm not saying all of it.
Right.
But what I am saying is that's assuming you don't have free funds. For example, I have a limited amount of money.
Right.
Those of you that have a lot of cash or unlimited amounts of funds,
you don't
then
need
of course
to sell
there's no
so much
need
of
to
your
sell anything and just add to it.
Right. Yeah.
So again, depends on your situation.
That makes total sense.
So remember, we may go much higher in gold and silver. We can get to 3,000, we can get to $50, but if we're interested in superior risk-reward return, we should consider some hedges. And again, if you're a metal producer, I was yelling at everybody when silver was $30 to hedge silver, and they wouldn't do it.
Why?
Well, there are 2 reasons. One of which is they had some very large investors who did their hedging elsewhere, and they bought the silver stocks for their silver hedge. And the other reason is that they believed silver was going to $100. Well, it didn't. So, you can believe it. So it depends on whether we like to do what every advisor wants to give you, which is to give you a better risk-reward portfolio, to make more money with less risk.
And that's your guys' goal at the Astrologers Fund. Make more money.
Right, that's to make more money. So we think our portfolio, it doesn't always outperform, but on an overall basis, it does a really good job.
And technicals be there first. Investing, astrology, and fundamentals, always a stellar performance. And then this is your guys' Twitter, TA Fund.
Well, we have to, for Twitter AF Fund, but you can get, if you want, it's almost daily. It's also on Telegram, and our YouTube, which has our last August 19th, our January ones, and of course, December 21st, we do an hour-and-a-half presentation in depth with a lot of choices.
Anybody watching now, if you guys would love to follow Henry, there's his Twitter, Telegram, and YouTube. Highly recommend to go follow him. Now,
Oh no, that's extra stuff. We're
oh, this is
not
extra
covering
stuff.
that
We're
now.
not covering this
No, no,
one. Okay.
this is for another.
Okay, that's another time. That's a teaser for another time.
Yeah, well, basically, because we have to deal with what we consider the fundamentals. I was trained that when you buy undervalued and you either sell or protect overvalued.
Yeah, that makes
Now,
sense.
the question is, those valuations used to change, quarterly. Now they're changing. Like
Daily.
October 22nd, it can totally change.
Yeah.
November 4th, 5th, it can totally change. So we adjust it as needed. Um, and in general, as I said, gold and silver is slightly overvalued at the moment, but that doesn't mean anything because they can stay overvalued for many years as they were undervalued, ridiculously undervalued
Yeah.
for many years.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that was so fascinating. Henry, it's such a huge pleasure having you come down to Wall Street Silver. Again, I would love to have you on as the market develops and continue some more slides for everyone in Wall Street Silver. Again, anyone who is watching, please follow Henry at his YouTube, Telegram, and Twitter. But then, yeah, thank you so much, Henry. Such a
Or
huge
a
pleasure.
fund or our
Yeah.
website. We have a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah. Oh, yeah. Where's
information.
your website? What's the website?
It's afund.com for astrologers fund, afund.com.
afund.com. Super easy. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Henry. Talk to you guys all soon. And anyone watching, please like the video. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.